Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brighter Together podcast. My name is Janet Courtney, and my very special guest today is Mark Wallenwine. And Mark is the Executive Vice President of Marketing and Mission Growth at Lighthouse Therapy. That's right, guys. I brought in my marketing guy. Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey, Janet, thanks for having me on the show. It's a real pleasure to be here after listening to so many of our episodes to actually be on the show myself.
Awesome. Well, I'm super glad to have you. This is going to be a short one because we just are going to give you guys a sneak peek of what we're going to do for season 2. And Mark is my brains behind Lighthouse. I always tell people in the show, I was like, I've got really smart people that get our guests here, and I've got really smart people that do the back end. Well, Mark is a really smart person on that front end and also on the back end. So Mark, tell us a little bit about what our guests can expect to see in season 2. I know I'm going to be the one who's hosting it, but you're the brainchild behind it. So I'd love for you to tell them.
Yeah. So we've been doing Brighter Together now for a little over a year. Janet, I think was it like 240 some episodes we've recorded?
246, yeah.
Yeah. So we've been doing the show a while now. And one thing we've learned is that it's the episodes that people really respond to are is it like a current challenge that they're facing in their special education departments right now? And 2, are there any actionable insights that they can actually take away from that episode? And so we really want to just provide better content. So what that looks like is our team is behind the scenes looking at a whole scope of what we're referring to now as a season. Originally, Lighthouse was producing this for our Brighter Together podcast, and we weren't doing seasons. We just kept on churning out episodes. And so we're dubbing those first 240 some episodes as season 1. Season 2 is not going to be another 200 episodes. What season 2 is kind of just a way for us to note that, hey, some of the format of the show is we're trying to make it even better for our listeners. So what that looks like is we're targeting a minimum of like 20-ish episodes in this next season. It might expand to around the 30 to 36 episode mark. But the point behind not this episode count, I know we're talking a lot less episodes, but what we want to do is create an experience for those who have been listening so faithfully. And so we're looking at, over the course of the season, what are the most pressing topics we need to cover? Also, who are the people in the country that we can get on the show that are facing those challenges head on, really have good insight for our listeners. And we've also, if people aren't aware, we have this thing called The Latest at Lighthouse, which is our email that goes along with what podcasts have been produced that week. And it's going to be more of this cohesive experience. So whatever the podcast is covering, we're also going to have related news articles. So things that are, current events that are happening, so to keep you up to date there. And we're also going to write support articles that help in that same genre. So whether it's trending news, other articles, if you respond more through written content, that's really more what you enjoy, there's going to be that. And then we'll also have our podcast episode. So that's a really cool, cohesive experience that we're excited for people to be able to enjoy as well. And really the whole goal is just to continue to add value through the Brighter Together show and the experience.
I love that. I love that. It also means for me a little bit of a break because there will be a break in the show for a little bit because Janet's not going to be here. Janet and her daughter, my daughter Carissa, I've talked about my kids before on the show. My daughter is my right hand. She absolutely is. When I retire, she is going to take over this company. She and I have been talking since she graduated from high school of taking a trip to Europe, and we're doing it. We're doing it. She and I are going to be leaving in July, and we will be gone for the entire month of July, running around playing in Europe together. My husband is staying home with our 3 dogs, her 2 dogs, and her 3 cats, and my son. My son's going to help him out. But that's a lot of animals that are going to be in the house. And God bless my husband. He is going to stay and do that so that we can go play, which is so fun. So that is also another reason why you're going to probably see a little bit of a break in the show.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you, though. The fact that you get to spend that time with Carissa, with your daughter, and make those memories. I know when you get back, I almost feel like we need to have like a recap of like what you guys did in Europe, because it sounds like you're going to a lot of really cool places this next month.
Yeah, we are. We're starting in Scotland, and we're going to go through Scotland into England and France and Germany and through the Alps. Excuse me, and then down into Italy. one of my bucket lists, Mark, was a gondola ride in Venice, and I'm going to be able to check off that
No
bucket list. And then,
way.
yes, so
I
fun.
love
And
it.
then I'm gonna be driving a little bit in Scotland on the wrong side of the road, and then I'm gonna be driving while we're in Germany. We're going to go to the Black Forest. And I've always
Okay.
wanted a cuckoo clock, so I'm hoping I can get a cuckoo clock there. And then in Tuscany, we're going to have a car in Tuscany for a while. And then we're going to finish up in Greece, and there is the most beautiful lighthouse off the coast of Greece. And we're going to spend one night actually on an island so we can go. Surprise, surprise, Janet wants to go see a lighthouse. I wanted to see another lighthouse off the coast of France, but she's like, Mom, my daughter, Mom, it's too far. I'm not doing that. We're not taking that much of a bypass just so you can go see a lighthouse. So I said, fine, but you have to let me go see this one. And it's funny because all we're going to be able to do is like take a boat out to it, but you can't actually go up in it. It's not an active lighthouse that you can go in. But I'll get my own pictures of it, so I'm super excited about that too. So
If that's what I'm thinking of, there's an extremely famous lighthouse in Greece, probably the one you're going to, and I see photos of it online. That's probably going to be a pretty incredible spot
I'm
to go see,
excited.
especially
Yeah,
as much
that's
as
at
you
the
love
end of our
lighthouses.
trip. Yeah. So, but that, I can't go and not see a lighthouse. Like Lighthouse Therapy is Lighthouse Therapy because Janet, first of all, because it's amazing. Lighthouses are amazing, but I'm a lighthouse fanatic. You can ask my kids. And my son was joking the other day with some of his friends, and he said, I think I've seen more lighthouses than all y'all. And he's in the Air National Guard, and so he had some leave, and so we went and saw him, and he was like, "Yep, that's what my mom does. She drags me to lighthouses." So what am I doing in Europe? Dragging my daughter to lighthouses.
It's fitting, and that's good. And while you're gone, that's what we're going to be working on behind the scenes to get season 2 ready for our listeners. So we're going to be lining up guests. We're going to be getting things ready. So when you get back, we're able to hit the ground running, creating new recordings and new content for what we're dubbing as season 2. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And I'm glad in the meantime, you've been, most people, I'm going to just brag on you for a minute. Like most people don't realize how hard you work and how much you do behind the scenes. And so like, this has been 8 years at Lighthouse of just so much work, so much where you're trying to add value in the special education community, not just through what we're doing here with this podcast, but like through our online therapy services, helping students thrive. And so I'm really excited for you where like you've worked nights, you've worked weekends, you've worked crazy amounts of hours to just really, I remember, Janet, early days when we were talking about Lighthouse Therapy, and you talked about how you can, as a therapist, you could reach about 40, 50 students. Mm-hmm. And then you said, but through Lighthouse, that has this multiplication effect where we're able to help so many more students through all the therapists that are here at Lighthouse. And so you've been, now through Lighthouse affecting, we actually had over 3,900 students we were able to serve this last year. I'm so stoked about that. Yeah. And I'm also,
Praise God.
People might not know, here at Lighthouse, Janet doesn't talk about finances and numbers. The number one thing she always points us to as a team is the students, how many lives are being impacted, how many students are having these transformational students that give them a better quality of life. So I'm excited for you, Janet, that you get a month to just enjoy that time with Carissa after 8 years of just nothing but sacrifice to help students, to have that time to make some cool memories of your own.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But I love what I do too. That's the other piece of it. When you love what you do, and Mark has been here. We always say Mark's been here since day 2 because he like it was like our second year or the middle of the end of our first year when we contracted with him, and then he came on full time shortly after that, not long after that. But so he's been here for a very long time. He's actually going to be a part of the board when I retire, actually. So, but that piece of it is, it's like when you love what you do, it's not work. I don't consider, I always tell people, it's like, I don't work. I get to do this. God called me to do this. And this podcast, I'm a speech therapist, active listening and talking. It's part of my husband. When I told him I was going to start doing a podcast, he was like, "Oh, that's right up your alley." Because I'm the talker. He's not. He's my tech guy. So, because we're a family company. So not only my daughter, my son, my husband. Yeah. So Mark is family, even though it's not blood. He's definitely part of a family. His picture of his kids are in the back posted on my board back there.
Are they really
So
back there?
yeah, they are. I don't know if you can kind of see it.
Oh, I
Yep,
kind of
right
see
there.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's his kids shortly after his youngest was born. So yeah.
Oh
For
my
those
goodness.
of you that are listening to this and not seeing it, I'm pointing to my board on the back. So,
Oh
but there
yeah,
you
I'm
go.
thinking
So
video
yeah,
here, and we have so many that
we have
listen through
video and we
Apple
have
and
audio. Yeah,
Spotify. Yeah. So
yeah.
yes,
So
thank you for that clarification. So yeah,
yeah,
I'm excited for what's next, Janet. I'm excited for the new topics that we're planning for this upcoming, what we're dubbing as season 2. We're planning to kick that off in September. So for some of you, if you don't hear a lot from us in August, it's because we have special things planned that are coming in September. So if you aren't subscribed, this is kind of shameless, obviously shameless plug here
absolutely.
from the marketing
Yeah,
guy. I encourage you to at least subscribe where you get your podcast, whether that's Apple or Spotify or YouTube. And if you really want that holistic experience, go ahead and subscribe to that newsletter. We're going to include that in the show notes of this episode. So wherever you get your podcast, you can look for it there. And for those of you who don't want to click into the show notes, I'll read it to you, but it's a little bit of a long URL. It's blog.lighthouse-therapy.com/subscribe. As I said, it's a little long, so you might want to find that in the show notes, but that's where you can go to subscribe to our latest at Lighthouse, and you can kind of really get that holistic experience of what's trending in the news, other online articles, this show, and I'm really excited for what's to come, Janet.
yeah, me too. Me too. These guys just make me look so smart. It's so great. So the power of editing, I'll tell you. So Mark, thank you. I'm gonna end to say, you've already done the plug for the show, so I love that. But thank you for being on Brighter Together. The name Brighter Together actually came from Mark, so I can't even take credit for the name of the show. That is his baby, and the logo is his baby. So, but like I said, everything that we do, we're a team here, and
Oh
all
yeah.
of these people work so hard to make sure that Lighthouse is not just a contract company. We are a company that cares about humans. We are a contract company that is constantly serving, and we want to continue to do that. So it means slowing down just a little bit, which is not a bad thing for me, but it also means that you're going to have and hopefully continue to have an amazing experience by what we put out, and having an opportunity to really respond to what's happening in education, because there's lots happening, lots of good things and some crazy things, and we want to talk about the good things because we're brighter together. So thanks, Mark.
100%. Thanks, Janet.